I also want to say some announcements. You would have seen that I didn't get the notice out this week as early as I usually do. And I think people have been aware that I've been having email problems for a while. So I decided to go into the 21st century, and we have a new email list, which means, though, for you, how it impacts you is you have to opt in yourself. So if you're already on my email list, you're on that list unless there's an error. If you don't get emails from me every week about this call, then you need to opt in. And once we get going, I'll put that opt-in link in the chat, or you can message me to get it. So, David, I will make you host.
Great.
And you can share your screen, and then I'll introduce you when you're ready.
Hey, fantastic. I'm ready.
Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman. It's a great pleasure for me to partner with Diana and Gary and all of you, each and every one of you in our lovely Mannatech family, to bring this event every Saturday. None of us can do this without each other, so we thank you for your support. We're very excited to have David back. He's spoken to us a couple times previously, and he very generously jumped up and put his hand up when we had a schedule change with our previous speaker. Bob Adden does want to come and speak to us. He's the I think he's the general manager of Mannatech Inc. in the US, and he will come at some point, but thank you, David, for jumping in. We're in very good hands. So if you haven't had the blessing to hear from David previously, David has been with Mannatech for 18 years, with the majority of his Mannatech career being as a commission research supervisor. That's really good for this topic today. Currently, David works in sales as a sales development manager and has been supporting the field with Mannatech's flight team program and other sales initiatives. He's married to Zoe Tennyson Wood, the Mannatech creative director, and they've just recently welcomed their first child. I think this bio is probably about a year old. So how old is your child now, David?
He's a year and a half.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you.
I get to see him on Facebook, so that's always a blessing for us to stay connected that way globally. 2.5 years ago, or 3.5 years ago now, Al Bala asked David to become his project manager for the new compensation plan design project. He got to work with the consultants, key field leaders, team, and of course, Al Bala and Kevin Robbins. He wrote the business rules, used the program, the new plan used for us, and he has most recently been on the road and conference calls and supporting the launch of our new plan, and also the new business development enhancements that we're all enjoying and that have newly been launched in Australia. So today our topic is about successfully and consistently tracking your progress. You need to, I'm not really a numbers girl, I'm a people person, but I've learned that you need to look at the numbers and help your team with the numbers. So that's what David's going to be focused on. We did have some questions come in, and I know he'll weave that into his presentation. If you have further questions as we go along, just put it into the chat box. So if you're new, at the bottom of your screen, there will be a chat box and you can just ask questions there. So David, thank you so very much. I'll turn my camera off, but I'll be here in case anything goes wrong if you need me.
Thank you, Sharon. You're very nice. I appreciate it. Okay. So these are the things that I was asked by the Australia office to cover, Sharon. And so without further ado, let's now move into the heart of our message today, which is Success Tracker. The name is important because Success Tracker is exactly what we want to do. We want to see everybody successful with Mannatech, and we want to track your success. And so the Success Tracker has been around a long time. I remember, as Sharon said, I've been here quite a few years. I remember when we first implemented this, how happy everyone was, because in the old days, it was call customer service and try and find someone over the phone. Not fun. Now, we have a way to access and see where someone is in the Mannatech family, what the ordering details are in a month, how I'm doing for leadership development with my people, all kinds of things that are just absolutely mission critical. Because at the end of the day, you heard Kevin last week, that when we're tracking something that you guys are doing with your business, at the end of the day, you're trying to grow your volume and develop leaders. Let me say that again. You're trying to grow your volume and develop leaders. Why do I say develop leaders as well as grow your volume? Well, leadership ranks have these rules, and these rules are not arbitrary. They are actually a trainer to help you build in a way that benefits you the most. If I am a one-legged wonder, what I mean by that is I build deep, 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 deep in one leg, and I don't have any second, third, fourth leg, it's not going to do me much good. So we need to have a beautiful balance. And so Mannatech has rules, and we'll get into that a little bit, that Success Tracker shows you. You don't have to memorize them. It's all there in the reporting section. But Mannatech has set this up so that you guys have less to think about and can get more towards the real job of developing leaders, working with people, having relationships, getting excited about these great products that have the magic of nature and the magic of science integrated together so beautifully. No other company has what Mannatech has, and I've seen it time and time again. The magic of nature and the magic of science that Mannatech has bottled up for us. What a blessing. Even my 1.5-year-old has gotten into the game. He will bomb Amber Toast Life, but I digress. Okay, so here we have Success Tracker Q&A. I had several questions that were presented to me, so let's cover these first as we look to this. The question says, now that we have the new Quick Start, I'm assuming that person is referring to the business development bonus that's coming. So the new Quick Start addition to the comp plan, is there any chance of this being a Success Tracker report? Okay, so yes, we are developing a report that will allow you to see the business development bonus. So as you know, there's two flavors. There's the Team 2, and then there's the Team 4. So that report is coming. It would be after Manifest, before it's available, because this is brand new. We just got the business rules done. So once business rules are done, there's a little process where IT goes and develops the report, and then we have to have a testing to make sure the report is accurate. So all of that, we're in the process. It's development and testing phase now, so it's coming. So I would say post-April, okay? So the second question that I received to try and answer on this time with you is, does Success Tracker keep up to date each month or so who is still an associate? So basically what they're asking is, if they're an associate or they're a customer, do they show somewhere in Success Tracker for renewal? So let me speak to renewal real fast, because that kind of answers this question for us beautifully. So Mannatech gives a person that joins the company, and that when they purchase that associate registration, Mannatech gives them a calendar year, in other words, 12 full months of eligibility for the opportunity, should they be eligible in everything in terms of meeting the comp plan requirements, to earn commissions. So renewal, it's just simply I place my sign up and I get a calendar year. Now once that year has passed, I want to renew the opportunity to earn commissions, and that gives me another calendar year. The beautiful thing about customers when it comes to renewal is that there isn't really a requirement there. They're not earning commissions, so they don't need to have a renewal. So we don't make a renewal requirement for customers. We may have had something in the legacy days. Some of you may remember, as I think back on the things that we did in the past, we used to have check fees to help with costs on checks, and we had other fees, and they kind of made it simpler and just made everything that it costs to do this business on the back office side of things done by a renewal. And the renewal then, once placed, you get another year of eligibility for earning commissions. Well, that's really only applying to associates. But back in the day, what we would do is when they placed their 14th order from their renewal, we would reduce what we used to pay out in commissions by over half. And so that we would set that aside to renew their account, take care of the back office, take care of the costs for checks, submissions, and so forth that are a part of doing business from a corporate side. And it was pretty straightforward, but it meant that in that month those people renewed, the leader didn't get as much commission. So what we've got now is a little more clean. It's a little more straightforward. You don't have to worrying of reducing the actual payout on an order. The commissionable volume, in other words, is not affected on that renewal order. So we used to cut that set aside for commissions on those renewal months, the first time they placed an order after their renewal. So that's why customers, it's a legacy thing. That's why they still show up as under that look for a renewal order. But it doesn't apply anymore. For customers, we've just really simplified. If you're a customer, you don't have to worry about renewal. So as an upline, I'm not worried about my customers renewing. And as an upline of my associates, I have a report that I'll talk about later that takes me there and shows me the renewal status. So Manatech has taken care of renewal to make it easy. I think the best thing I can say is we have a series of letters that goes out that notifies someone and their enroller that it's about time to renew. And we give plenty of months of there's about 6 letters that go out, 3 before and 3 after, to let people know about renewal. Okay? The next question they had, if I have 2 people who are associates but have left, so we're talking about people that haven't ordered, does that customer become my, let's see, let me change the screen so I can see that rest of the question. There we go. If I have 2 people who are associates but have left, haven't ordered for over a year or so, and the next level down is a customer enrolled by me, does the customer become my personal customer so that their PPV is now added to mine for the sake of the new 500 PPV? Okay, so that question is really kind of getting into what's called a purge. A purge is the last purge that Manatech did was in February of 2016. And what happens is people that were not ordering for 2 years, we removed them from the database, and they were free then to come back into Manatech in any place that they desired with any organization they were wanting to join. They were new blood at that point because they hadn't ordered in so long. They were purged from the database, and so that was called the purge. FYI, we are going to have a purge, and it's going to be this year, very, 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 very soon. They're trying to get one done before Manifest, because in the new plan with the unilevel, the way it is, it actually helps people. You can actually, with a purge, end up getting more legs, and that's always more income because of the unilevel. So we've had a gazillion requests from associates. 2 reasons for the purge, I guess, in their mind. They want to have their spreadsheet of their family tree a little bit prettier and more tidy. And also, 2, they're thinking about the people that aren't ordering. If they have several legs and that comes up to me, I'm getting wider by default, and that helps my unilevel. So those 2 thoughts come to mind, and everybody's clamoring for it. So the executives at Manatech have heard your cry. If you have people that haven't been ordering, they're going to be purged from the system, and they're going to follow the sponsor line. So let's say that David is sponsored by Sharon, and Sharon is sponsored by Diana. If Sharon has not been buying, but David has in this hypothetical example, then Sharon would be removed and David would be sponsored directly to Diana. He would just move up one. We would move Sharon out in this example and David up one in this example. That's called following the line of sponsorship. Everything pays through the line of sponsorship, and so we would purge and build our organizational tree based on the line of sponsorship. If someone is an enroller and they are then purged, we would just trace the enrollment line or the enrollment lineage, just like we did with the sponsor. So it's pretty straightforward. It's all done on the behind the scenes for you, and it's happening very, very soon. So in the case of this question, the purge is the answer. In terms of the specifics of the question, if you're the enroller of a customer, yes, that could, or enroller of an associate, I mean, that could help you toward the person that's trying to get the business development bonus. Yep, if you're the enroller, that's where it becomes a benefit to you. You have to be the person that told someone about Mannatech, the listed enroller of the account, then it helps you, okay? Number 4th question, on Success Tracker in the report box, it says current enrollment level is preferred customer, yet it says they have renewed. That's legacy. Like I said, in the old days, every 14th order, we would take back commissions to renew an account, and we don't do that anymore because of the new way we do enrollments with the new comp plan. So that doesn't apply anymore specifically. You can ignore that current enrollment level when it comes to preferred customers. There is a request to put in a change that updates the look of that, but I just want to let you know, if there's a customer involved, current enrollment level doesn't apply. You can ignore that. Now, if they're an associate, that's a different deal. We'll go to a report called the renewal that I'll show you about in a little bit later. But when it comes to customers, don't worry about it. The current enrollment level for a preferred customer means nothing, okay? Number 5, if an inactive account hasn't ordered for over 12 months, wants to start up, does he pay 49 or 24? Okay, so if I'm an inactive associate, I don't have to pay 49. That's only when I'm starting a brand new account. The 24 is what you would pay for renewal if you want to have the shot at earning commissions. But let me be clear, you don't have to renew. If I'm an associate and I used to renew, but I'm no longer earning commissions, maybe that's a good example. Let's pretend I'm an associate that no longer earns commissions, then I'm not really incentivized to renew. And guess what? You don't have to. There's no penalty other than the fact that loyalty it works as a customer for you, and you don't earn commissions because you're not renewed, which is one of the requirements. So you don't have to, but in this scenario, if they did want to renew and they did want to have the chance for commissions after being gone for 12 months, it would be the 24 renewal fee that would be applied, okay? All right, last question. If the person, if not David, who is the best person in corporate answers this? Actually, I could answer that. So I think we're good on the questions, the Q&A about Success Tracker. Let's continue. Let's actually get into reports, guys. Okay, first things first. When I'm coming to Success Tracker, there's an associate detail page where modifying PPV fields that was done recently with the new launch of the new plan can help me include personally enrolled customers, PV accurately. So think of it this way, me and my customers, we sit on top of our organization. I can be multiple legs wide beneath me or 2 legs, it doesn't matter. But my customers aren't part of that genealogy. They're on level 0 or leg 0 or up top, if you will. So me and my customers, I've got my arm around them. they would be leg 0. So in the associate detail, we needed to show that to you guys somehow, and we modified associate detail to do that. So associate detail is handy. It gives you address information, contact information, upline, presidential, email, all that good stuff. It shows an upline person that's looking at an individual, the customer data, and it also shows their organizational total volume. In other words, the associates and their associates beneath me, organizational volume detail. So that's called associate detail. Very handy report. Okay? Now, organizational profile, I'll speak to it in a minute, but it also has updated PPV. PPV stands for personal point volume. So that had to be updated when we launched the new plan, and we did that as recommended by the field. The next important report that we're going to cover today, how to get to the next leadership level. It's absolutely the Mac Daddy of all reports. Nothing gets past this report. When it comes to, I got to know for sure I'm getting paid, that's the key. All right. Downline Leaders is a great report. It shows leadership rank achievements of all your downline by leg. It has a built-in show report that takes you to the one we just mentioned. So if I have a leader in a leg 3 and they're an executive and I see a bunch of volume, but they're just executive, then I'm going to want to click that show report button. It's going to take me to the how to get to the next leadership level for them. And I can go call that person and say, you're just a little side volume short of getting a lot more money. So that's a very handy report, and it's all in the same page. You don't have to log out, log in, log back out, log back in kind of thing. It's all built in. All right, genealogy. That's our family tree, guys. The view of the map of my people. It has a physical level numbering system so that you can find people even if you have a huge, large organization. Some people use the tree view when they're just getting started because it has blocks and or diagram. It's very visual centric. The problem is once you get past Gold Associate, you can't see everything on the screen, and it's very cumbersome. And particularly with big organizations, it won't load everything. So the genealogy version of genealogy is our buddy. I have used that for years. Pulling up, I just checked the Silver Presidential before this call, and genealogy just came right to it for us. I was able to do Control F, and I'll show more about that in the future, but genealogy is your buddy. It has so much data. It's just a powerhouse.
David, can I just jump in for 1 second?
Sure.
When you get to the tree, if you're going to show that, there's another distinction on the questions earlier, which is the question about associates and customers was about the actual tree view when they're listed as associates and customers.
Okay, I wasn't clear of that. Okay.
Great, thank you.
The last part of this, of what we've set aside to help you is the customer bonuses. So the AQ team, the personal, those things that we're dealing with when you have enrolled and sponsored a customer and they're buying, what you can earn on them. So we have the bonuses there. So these are the things on this page. These are the things that's really all you need. With these items, you could do anything you need to do with Manatech. These are all I use, and I research checks daily. And these are great reports. They're succinct. They're powerful. Just using this, we'll talk more about what to use and when in just a second. But at the end of the day, take a look and write down on this screen these items because you don't need anything else. These cover you. There's one report I could add about renewal, but at the end of the day, 95% of everything you need to do is right here. Okay? Let's start with org profile. They're on the top left, the 7th or 8th down. It says organizational profile. This is the one when you're going to go talk to someone. You know, if we get geeky about our data, it's a different mindset than when I'm speaking to Sharon or Diana or Gary or whoever. I need to not be in geek mode. I need to be able to talk to them and listen to them. So organizational profile is your buddy when you're going on the phone. If I have an associate call me and wanting to get into some research, before I do any research, I pull up the organizational profile for that person and click Show Report. And that report has as it says, as its name provides, a profile so that I know exactly where they are. I don't have to go hunting and pecking and looking at which leg and which leader has what leg. It's all there. So let's talk about that. This is our phone buddy, okay? So here you have at the top of the organizational profile. By the way, I've had to highlight things that are confidential in nature. So a lot of the things you'll see screen-wise are fictitious in nature, or I'm blocking out personal confidential information. I want to be safe and keep people's data private for privacy laws, okay? But here at the top, you see the account, the leadership level, and then you have the enrollment data. How many people does this person have? How many are customers? How many are associates? It even tells you about their buying habits. All of that, I don't have to go looking at millions of months of orders. It's all there for me. I see trends, and I didn't have to go anywhere but look at the top of this page. The next thing, I scroll down, and this answers the PPV idea. If I want to look at someone's PPV data, organizational profile is your buddy. It's the best place to check PPV, personal point volume. It's the fastest because I just see there on the screen the PPV data. It has the person at the top that is the associate, and then it starts listing all the enrolled sponsored customers underneath. Now notice under leg, when it comes to PPV, the leg says 0. That means that we're not talking about our downline yet. These are my customers. So 727 has brought in 311, 2553. 727 brought in 364, 2678, etc. And we give a tally. You know how much personal point volume you have in all of your customers' details right there. It's all listed out. If you had 100, that list would keep growing. This person has 11 when he counts himself, and so that means he's enrolled and sponsored 10 customers. So org profile, good place to check PPV very fast. Okay, then we scroll down the page and we're going to look at the legs and the leaders. So here we have the legs. This person has 24 legs, as you can see. And on the right, at the far right, you see D, E, GE, and PD. That stands for Director, Executive Director, Gold Executive, and Presidential. The leadership records of our people in that leg. So you know in leg 3 for this account, there are 3465 directors. There are 1,306 executives. There's 282 gold executives and 297 presidentials. So that would be good to know. That kind of data is all shown. So you can tell by just looking at this org profile, really, when it comes down to it, you know exactly where someone is. And that allows you to not geek out on trying to find out what's going on with their success or lack thereof. You can just listen to them. You know where they are, and now it's about relating to that person, finding out what they're really on about, what's in their heart. And this report, it has all these numbers, but it's not a technical report. It's more of a help me talk to someone kind of report. That's called the org profile. Love that baby. All right, Mac Daddy, real fast. There are several rules that you want to make sure that you know and you cover, and that's the how to get to the next leadership level report. So here we have a fictitious screen, and it shows the current PPV. It tells you what it is now, plus if you add in the automatic orders that have it generated, and when you add in both together, so everything's there. All the rules are covered with the exception of renewal. It's just a one-stop shop. So if I want to make sure that I'm going to get paid at the monies that I'm expected to for that rank, then I need to check this, and it's going to tell me. And if I know I'm covered here, I'm good. It also shows me what I would have to do to get to the next level, but I can customize that. I love that about this report. I could be a presidential in the first week and want to be a platinum and just compare where I am now with what it would take to get to platinum. Kind of do some dream building. This report is awesome. Okay, here are the 5 rules. You have to get minimum of PPV, which is 150. There's a target downline point volume for each rank. We have 18 ranks. There's a formula for balanced volume. So we have the 65-35 for the high leaders, the 70-30 rule for the first ranks, and we call that the max leg. So anything outside of my max leg is the side volume, and how to get to the next leadership level allows me to see where I am and where I would place orders if I'm short, or where I need to boost up if I'm short. So that rule is covered. The 4th rule is active legs. I have to meet at least the minimum. When you get in the first ranks, you have to have at least 2. The mid ranks are at least 3, and when you get beyond, into the medal type leadership, you have to have 4 legs minimum. So it's all there, active leg. Active leg is simply defined as I've got an associate somewhere that has 100 PPV. So let's pretend 4 levels down a leg, I have Ray, and he bought 50, and one of the customers he enrolled bought 50. That's 100. His PPV is 100. That leg's good for me, the upline. Okay. The 5th reason for 5th rule is bronze presidential and above have to have a point system. We call the leader leg structure. It's 2 parts, and again, that's all taken care of for us. We don't have to guess anything. It's all shown in the how to get to the next leadership level. The associates due for renewal report. I referred to this earlier. That's a great place to go for anyone that's not sure if this person is renewed, because it's not covered in this report. There's been a request to add it, but it hasn't been done yet. Okay, here we have a look at the downline leaders. Notice that show next level button that someone has clicked, and now that person, Lisa Brown, it popped up and took you to the how to get to the next leadership level from the downline leaders report. That's one of the reasons we love this report so much, because you know where the leaders are in the leg, what their highest level's been, what the current is, and what it would take to get them more money. Great report, downline leaders. All right, genealogy, physical levels. So you see 0, that would be you or one of your customers. Level 1 are the people that you sponsored. Level 2 is the people that your ones have sponsored. So every time I see a 1, that's a new leg for me. That's our numbering system. That's how we map out the people of Mannatech. They have a physical level, and the higher the number, the deeper they are from me. Okay. A neat feature on genealogy, and we're talking about genealogy. Control F on Windows or Command F on a Mac allows you to search. So if you know somebody and you don't want to scroll, then just hit Control F if you're on a Windows machine, or Command F if you're on a Mac, and you can type in and it takes you right there. You see all the details that you get: contact information, ordering information, renewal business period information, etc. It's all there. Love genealogy. It's the only place that you can truly do. Now, for the tree view, you have 2 limitations, and that's why I don't recommend it being used, particularly once you get past Gold Associate. And that is, you can only load so much. It won't load your whole downline, and you don't see the width of your organization. If somebody has 5 legs, you can't really see that cleanly. So those are the 2 limitations that the tree view has. I love that it's visual, and I love that, but it's so limited, guys. I would go back to genealogy version, because then you're using the numbering system. You can load big organizations and find somebody very, very quickly. The commission research team and people like myself that do audits of checks to make sure that Mannatech's paying correctly, we use the genealogy version of the genealogy report, because TreeView leaves us so wanting. We really can't get the details that we need. You'll be very frustrated, but not with the genealogy version. It's very clean, very helpful. Okay, let me quickly wrap up some of this stuff. Here are the customer reports. So you see the AQ Personal. If I want to see my 5 customers are buying at 100, I've got that report. The AQ Team shows me qualified or not for that 300 amount in US. Associates close to or qualified for the AQ Team, that's very helpful. And the associates who received AQ Team bonus, very helpful. So that's all about customers and the people in my downlines customers. Those reports are there under bonus qualification. Here's what it would look like if you were to look at them direct. Okay. All right. I'm going to close this with future enhancements. Coming to you very, 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 very quickly. Here's the scoop on this. The month of March, we're in the testing phase for Australia. We've launched this report I'm about to talk about in the US already. We're almost ready for Australia. We're testing, and that takes us about a month. So about a month, and then we'll get into launch phase. So this is called the Retention Management Report. It's brand new, and it has this beautiful algorithm that studies each presidential's organization, how much business they're doing, how much ordering they do, how consistently they order on auto order, who in their organization tends to order as normal order. It takes there's 36 bullet points of data, and it applies that algorithm, and you have a 2-month prior window that it looks at, and it is 90% accurate as to who is about to quit. What a great report. So you don't have a list that's forever to search through. It culls only those that are subject to quit. So it's called retention management for that reason. And so it is going to give you a list of those that are on the bubble, and based on past history, it's time to contact them so that they don't quit. We've never had that before. So retention is going to be the new tool in your pocket. We've found that you can add thousands upon thousands of volume by just managing about 10% of retention. So we added this report, more to come on that for Australia. Like I said, it's being tested now to make sure that it works as expected, and you guys are going to love it. So that's a future, but coming very, very soon. All right, guys, thank you so much for all you do and for your strong work with Mannatech. We appreciate you from our heart. We're pulling for you. We can't wait to see what's happening next in Australia, New Zealand, and Australasia. We think the best of you. We appreciate you very much. All our love and all our best wishes to you guys. Sharon, thank you for your generous kindness, and if there's anything we can do, let us know.
Well, what an amazing report. This is going to be used and used and used and used again. David, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, corporate will have this up on their YouTube channel this week. I usually get it up depending on my internet speed in the next 2 days. But hopefully corporate will do some nice editing and we can have 2 separate videos that have different content. So I'll try and figure it out, but I'm a Luddite when it comes to video editing. But anyway, David, thank you. Bless you. It's really, really, really valuable. Big call. Thank you, everybody, for participating and being here. And we'll see you next week with a Glycan call. We've got some amazing people's personal experiences lined up, so you'll want to bring your guests and yourselves to that call next week with Diana Hunter. David, thank you so very much. Have a great Friday evening.
Blessings, guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Gary. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, David.